I love the idea of a museum for dogs. Honestly, I do. I can't wait to visit. Thank you so much, Carl. But let's focus in a bit more with regard to our furry friends. After months of barking up the right tree with our dogs, it's time to switch gears and turn our attention to our fabulous felines, because they deserve just as much love and care. And we have a talented veterinarian over here. Dr. Vince Botha is here to ensure that you get the advice you need to find out how you can protect our cats and keep them happy and healthy, because sometimes this task may be a mountain to climb.
Oh, no.
That's why we've got our doc here. It's going to happen often. I'm so sorry, but it's really great to cat chat with you.
Oh,
anyway, but doc, sorry, but let's talk about our lovely feline friends.
Cool.
All
Yeah.
right.
So it's not really that different to the dogs.
Okay, good.
In essence, I mean, the ticks and the fleas are the same ticks and the same fleas. And so the reality is that the management is not that different. Maybe a little bit of difference in terms of options that you have available for you for treatment and management.
Okay.
But in essence, not that different. Yeah.
Now that you set the scene, we know that between dogs and cats, like a dog, you have to go to the dog, grab the leash and go, walkies, and then you know it's going to happen. A cat has this own independent lifestyle, sits where it wants to sit, roams where it wants to roam, comes back 3 days later sometimes. And is this behavior making the cat a bit more exposed, almost more than dogs, to the outside world and parasites?
Definitely. So cats will walk in areas where other animals will have been and are around. So things like rats, for instance, or mice running through your garden.
Yeah.
Those are kind of those under areas where they'll be quite well hidden, is the areas where your cats are going to go looking around and sniffing around. And
Yes.
they're going to spend a lot of time out and about. And with that, they pick up things and they bring them back into your household. So yeah, definitely. I'm not sure if you can say more at risk or less at risk, but depending on the cat and their behavior, they're certainly high risk in terms of picking up ticks and fleas.
I think you don't know where they go. You know, there's like 3 days later they come back like they've been there all the time.
Yes.
You know, you're not sure what type of binge the cat was on, but it came back. Okay, so let's talk about the indoor cats. I think a lot of people have that title for their cats. Like, oh, no, this is Whiskers. Whiskers is on my lap and on the couch and doesn't go much, doesn't go out much. And I think there's maybe a little bit of a perception that the indoor cats are safer than cats that do a bit more roaming. Let's discuss this particular
So
thing.
it is a bit of a misnomer in the sense that there's no such thing as a risk-free cat. It doesn't really exist. And especially in South Africa, because we're very social people, no cat is in a situation where they have zero exposure to anybody who's never been in or out of that property. So fine, your cat might be indoors, but you invite people around for a bride, they've got pets at home, and they're bringing in eggs from fleas or fleas themselves, and you yourself are just walking through, if you walk through the park on your way home and you take a dog for a walk, he picks up a whole lot of things, or you pick up a whole lot of things, and you're bringing them back into that environment. So very few cats are risk-free. The indoor cat idea is a great idea in the sense that your risk is maybe a bit lower, but it's not risk-free, that's for sure.
What are the subtle signs that your cat may be dealing with a parasite?
So because cats are quite fastidious groomers, it's quite hard to tell whether they're just grooming or whether there's something going on. Generally with cats, the grooming becomes a bit frenzied and they'll often focus on specific area, especially the area between their hind legs, the areas on their back, and they'll sort of groom quite intensively there and often pull out some fur. But if you feel your cat or even just have a look, they'll often get these little raised bumps and little scabbies and that sort of thing.
Yes.
Often scratching at the base of the ears, that sort of thing. So if you're in contact with your cat and feeling them and getting a good idea of what's going on there, you're going to notice that it's very different to their normal behavior. And they sometimes become quite badly behaved because they're really uncomfortable.
So now when you see this in your pet, the next step is quite important. You know, how do we start looking at treatment in that particular moment and then also prevention?
Yeah, so the treatment and the prevention actually go hand in hand with the products that we have on the market now, which is really, really nice. So a lot of the products, especially if you're using a product that works for a long duration, so a month to 3 months or whatever you're using, those products then will kill the ticks and fleas that are actively there, but also help to manage them in your environment so that any of the life cycle, the eggs that hatch over time that are sitting in the bedding or in your couch, then those kind of are also going to be treated at the same time. So things like your NEXGARD combo, where you're going to do it monthly, you're going to make sure that you're preventing ticks and fleas, the life cycle, from reoccurring the whole time within your environment.
Doc, thank you so much. I think this has been such a great eye-opener with regard to our pets. I mean, there's no such thing as something like a cat or a dog that's not at risk. I mean, we walk in and out of our homes and bring in all sorts of things. So thanks a lot to Dr. Vince Botha on giving you a little bit more about the parasites in your lovely feline friends. And as cat parents, we want nothing more but to make sure that we want the best for our furry friends. And that means keeping them safe and avoiding catastrophe. Now, NEXGARD, the combo, is the only broad-spectrum protection for cats, targeting everything from fleas, ticks, mites and tapeworms to roundworms, hookworms, lungworms, and even heartworms. This is diseases that really can be covered all in one, and an easy-to-use monthly topical solution is available to you. Now, whether you have a tiny kitten, just 8 weeks old, or a proud mama cat, NEXGARD Combo is designed to keep them healthy and happy, so you can enjoy more cuddle moments without worry. Plus, there's something in it for you. Yes, you've barked up the right tree today, because you can win a mountain of cash and stand a chance to win 2,000 Rand. Simply reply to the competition post on Expresso's social pages and tell us what's the best trophy your cat has ever brought home. Oh, here it comes. Don't forget to add hashtag NEXGARDCombo and hashtag Guardians of Love, and add a picture too, please. Competition closes at midday tomorrow. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. All the best and good luck.